Hello everyone, my name is Abhi Bhardwaj and I'm back with lecture series on science. Today I'm going to talk about a very famous scientist, actually one who really started the modern science, and his name was Galileo. So, we are going to discuss about Galileo and his most important inventions. I know personality like Galileo would need, series of different videos which could actually go hours and hours, but in this video we are going to briefly discuss about what are the discoveries he made, why he was famous for his discoveries. So let's get started. So who was Galileo? His full name was Galileo Galilei, who was an Italian astronomer, born on 15th February 1564 and died on January 8th, 1642. Prior to Galileo's inventions or discoveries, majority of the educated people in Christian world were subscribed either to Aristotelian geocentric view that the earth was the center of the universe and that all heavenly bodies revolved around earth, or they were believing in tectonic system which blended geocentrism with the heliocentrism. And we are going to discuss in this video how Galileo's discoveries led to prove that it's not sun who's going around earth or the heavenly bodies which are going around earth, but it's opposite. This idea brought him into serious conflict with the church at the time, which forced him to make a public recantation and put him under restrictions in later years of his life. So first of all, Galileo was famous for reinventing the telescope. He is known for improving the telescope. Galileo, though not the first inventor of the refracting telescope, significantly enhanced the power of the telescope. Galileo used observation and scientific experiments to prove his ideas, which led him to challenge traditional ideas which were promoted by the church at the time. For him, it wasn't right to believe what people in authority had been saying for centuries. He wanted to test these ideas and compare them to real evidence. This was quite a shocking idea and was one of the reasons that he got into trouble with church. With the help of his new telescope, he discovered that moon surface was not smooth but rough, with mountains and craters whose shadows changed with the position of the sun. Galileo was able to use the length of the shadows to estimate the height of the lunar mountains, for example. And he also showed that all these mountains which he was looking at on the moon with his telescope was very much similar to what we find on Earth. He also discovered that planet Venus showed changing crescent phases like those of the moon, but their geometry could only be explained if Venus was moving around the sun rather than the earth. He challenged that idea by showing them this proof. This undermined the idea that everything in the heavens revolved around the earth. He also found that Jupiter was accompanied by 4 tiny satellites which moved around it. These are now known as Galilean moons. Again, this showed that not everything in the heaven revolve around Earth. Also discovered that the Milky Way is basically not just a misty light. It was made up of thousands of individual stars. Other area where Galileo worked was the pendulum of clock. He designed a major component for the first pendulum clock. This design, however, went unbuilt until after the construction of the first working pendulum clock by Christian Huygens. So in the end, I just want to summarize, that Galileo, for many people in the 17th century as well as today, was and is seen as hero of modern science. He is known for defending and making popular the Copernican system, using telescope to examine heavens, inventing microscope, dropping stones from towers and masts, playing with pendula and clocks, and being the first real experimental scientist, advocating the relativity of motion and creating first mathematical physics. I think his major claim to fame probably came from his trial with the Catholic Inquisition and his purported role as heroic rational. He was a modern man in the subsequent history of warfare between science and religion. This is no small set of accomplishments for one 17th century Italian who was son of a court magician and who left the University of Pisa without a degree. Thank you for watching.